Howdy mates, good afternoon. How are we all doing? It is Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. I am actually once again over at the famous Greenville Falls near Covington, Ohio. So as part of this video, I actually wanted to point out a couple of separate flowers that I noticed while being up here. So the first flower that we're going to talk about is the Deptford Pink. Surprisingly, about this flower is it's actually considered to be a non-native flower. So in other words, it was not originally from here. It actually was from parts of England. It's actually named after the town of Deptford, England. And so it was actually brought over here as a means of ornamental purpose. Because it's like one of those only flowers, really, that has that bright pink color. But with this plant, there are typically up to 5 separate petals. That reminds you of looking at a kind of like a starfish, you know what I mean? And there's usually up to 5 stamens, and they are really, really tiny. But due to their non-native characteristics, they aren't some people or agencies actually consider them to be invasive, but not always. But usually these flowers, they like to grow in disturbed habitats, typically, whether it be roadsides or, in this case, we are on top of a cliff right now. So it would kind of be like a small equivalent of, say, a honeysuckle, for instance. Because honeysuckle, they also like to thrive in disturbed habitats. But yeah, it's very slender, and usually once it gets to the upper part of the flower, it branches several times, as you can see here. I mean, there's quite a few. Alright, so moving on, we've got another type of flower that is also called a diamond flower. They call it a diamond flower because if you look real closely, even though this phone does not have the capability to focus that well, there are 4 petals, and the petals themselves have a diamond-like shape, hence the name diamond flower. And they like to thrive on calcareous soil, which makes sense, because we are essentially on top of dolomite, which is a form of limestone. But they usually appear in clusters of up to 5 or 6. In this case, we are seeing up to 5 separate flowers on one particular branch, as you can see. Now, in terms of medicinal benefit, I'm not really sure. It doesn't really seem to be much information regarding that part. But that is the diamond flower right here. Alright, so we're going to move on to one last flower. Give me just a second, just because it's actually right behind me. Alright, so looking down here, we've got ourselves I believe this is a Smooth Ruellia. And these are actually a type of petunia that are native to the area as well. And they call it Smooth Ruellia because if you actually touch the petals, it has a smooth texture on it. And as you can see, it is essentially one big flower, too. Just has, 5 separate petals that kind of branch out. But it is still one large flower. As you can see, it also opens up to the inside, too. This is a very popular plant, especially among our pollinators in the area, whether it be, insects or even hummingbirds, too, and honeybees. So this is a common sought-after plant. And same thing, they usually like to be on somewhat calcareous soil, too. But yeah, that is the Smooth Ruellia, which is a type of petunia. Of course, we've got ourselves I believe this is a type of daisy. Specifically, I think it's a daisy Fleabane. I'm pretty sure. I'm not too great with when it comes to the daisies, but that is really all I can say. And what's neat about the Fleabane, daisy Fleabane, is there's numerous petals, and they kind of have like an elliptical shape associated. But yeah, and also shout out my brother and sister-in-law actually have a band where they call themselves the Lazy Daisies. So shout out to you guys. But yeah, over at the Greenville Falls, it's a nice day too. It's like practically in the 70s right now, not too much humidity. So I'm not complaining at all. So I'll provide some articles regarding those flowers, because even I am still learning further about them, because they seem to be the types of flowers you'd only see during the summer. It is that time. So alright mates, enjoy your Tuesday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care folks.